Good to have you back with me again today on the Chinese Business Cultural Series. And today, if you look at what I've got here in front of me, you may guess the topic. We are going to talk about eating together and socializing in China. Some of you may already know there are so many Chinese restaurants everywhere all over the world. And here in China, eating together is really one of the most important and effective way you socialize with each other in business.
Consider that, most Chinese people treat dining as a very serious matter. Dining is not just pure entertainment. It's part of a relationship building thing. And so if you treat it as such, then, you can understand it a little bit more. In China, having a meal, especially in a business setting, is a fairly formal relationship building, getting to know your partner thing. So if you treat it as such, then there is actually you get more used to it.
And it's part of the work. It's part of the business practice too, rather than just a social event. Okay, I think this is a great reminder for people who are not used to this part of the culture here in China, taking every meal as seriously as a negotiation.
As a negotiation and as a relationship.
In China, sitting when dining with your hosts or with the Chinese people can be as simple as you just stand there and wait until you are instructed to take the seat that might be already appointed for you. And also, do not start eating until the host indicates that the meal is here and let us eat. And again, be prepared. That doesn't matter is a formal or informal meal together. The host is very often starting the meal with a simple welcome remarks or like a toast.
Where you place the key guest is very important. For example, if you're the host, you should have the key guest sitting right next to you. And in terms of order of priority, organizing it, that appears to be a very important thing because face is very important in China. And the other thing would be that in terms of the food, right? The types of food depends on the occasion is also very important. What I also find is that in terms of more proactive in helping your guests in serving the food, which is a little bit different.
When we eat with Chinese people, another few points I think we cannot forget. Otherwise, you may really feel very frustrated. First of all, about drinking. So drinking is really the way a lot of people here in China use to show friendship or to show that the trust between each other. So if you are offered a drink, if you happen not to be a very heavy drinker, try to find some excuses rather than refuse the drink together flatly and directly. Because refusing the drink or the drink offered to you may be taken as a sign of indifference to the person or as a sign of unwillingness to build up a further relationship with people there. So try to drink a little bit or use the doctor's advice as an excuse.
If you want to do business here, my suggestions would be that have the Chinese liquor, on the table. In front of me would be a glass of Maotai and a glass of red wine. Let's say when the toast starts, right, I would drink a zip or maybe half a glass, right? And then when it go to the second and third toasting, I would say, well, my capacity is less, and I like red wine more, so I switch to red wine.
Okay, so are they flexible with that?
But if you politely switch to red wine, usually it's okay. It's good to bring one or two of your Chinese manager along and say, all right, he'll drink with you.
In China, people eat quite differently from the way we eat in the Western world. People tend to eat in a very much a communal way, by which I mean there may be a lot of common dishes which are ordered and placed in the middle, and people are given each individually a bowl for the rice. The host and the people who accompany you very often help, even with their own chopsticks sometimes, to pick or to get some of the dishes onto your plate, even without your permission or without asking if you like it or not. So this is the way Chinese people really do to show the hospitality, to show friendship, and to show the willingness to share and to be treating each other as family members. So if you really cannot take certain dishes here, I strongly advise you to make it clear at the beginning of the meal, saying, oh, I have a few food restrictions here. For example, I do not eat fish, or I do not eat pork, or just give the doctor's advice as an excuse, saying, I can only take vegetables today. So whatever you do, try to warn your host what you do not eat at the beginning. But if the food is already put onto your plate, try to be polite by nodding your head, saying thank you. You can just leave the things you do not eat on your individual rice bowl without really making it known to other people that you cannot take certain dishes. There are a few other things I want to remind us when we eat together with the Chinese people. Is the chopsticks. Good luck. It's not as easy as using fork and knife. However, if you do have a bit of time, I advise that you practice using them before you come to China. If you really are not skillful enough to use it to eat and avoid starving, better ask before the meal is ready, saying that I hope they have some knife and fork for me because I'm not skillful. So make it known at the beginning of the meal. Otherwise, chopsticks are automatically given to you instead of the knives and forks. With the use of the chopsticks, never ever in China, this is a taboo, never ever in China using the chopsticks and stick it in the rice bowl. And that is a taboo. The reason is the chopsticks stuck into the rice bowl may remind people of the tomb, the Chinese tomb. So do not do that. When we eat rice or even soup, in China, the soup very often comes into this shape of bowl. And people normally drink soup by lifting it up, either use chopsticks to get the ingredient this way, or they just drink it with a bowl of this shape, and they normally lift the bowl up. The same gesture also applies to eating rice. So if it is their individual rice bowl, very often you see people lift this rice when they eat with the chopsticks. Just do the same accordingly. As we always say, do as Romans do. So at dining table, just follow the suit. Whoever sits around you, and just pick up whatever they do, and you won't be really wrong in any aspect. Good luck with your Chinese food, and good luck with your socializing in China, and I hope you do enjoy it. Thank you, and bye-bye.